Welcome to the Non Superheroes Just Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be present for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I'm Sean Laurie. Hope you guys are having an amazing, blessed day today. Before we get into it, right, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. You guys know I appreciate the support, for sure. I always do. Now, with that being said, I'm excited, y'all. I always try to make sure I bring a guest that I think is just going to be unique or helpful. And this guy, of all people, is very, very unique in everything he does. He makes me laugh a lot, actually. But how you doing today, Ryan?
Mr. Sean, I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Finally made it. Made it to the show.
You
But
famous,
I'm good.
dog. You famous. No, but I wanted to. I like to do an icebreaker, so I wanted to ask you, um, did you always want to be a dad? Because now you have 4 kids, but when you were growing up, did you visualize having the family you have now?
Bro, that's not the icebreaker, dude. That's like the Titanic hitting an iceberg. That's like you're trying to sink a ship over here, dude. Um, dude, I never thought about it. I knew that's a deep question. Yes and no, I guess. Yes and no. Like when I was in my 20s and 30s and like early 30s, maybe even late 20s, I knew I didn't want a family yet. I was just coming out of a divorce and all this stuff, and I felt like I was just in a reset mode. And then when I met my wife, when I met her, when we like reconnected, yeah, she already had 2 kids. So I basically just jumped in the water feet first. Um,
Mm,
and I wasn't even ready. I mean, I wasn't. They're not even they're my stepdaughters, right? So man,
yeah.
I just went head in, you know. So, yes and no. I did want to. I guess I did want to be a dad, but I didn't want to be the dad I didn't have. If that makes sense,
Mm,
because I didn't have a dad,
yeah.
so I didn't know what a dad really was. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how I was gonna be. So I guess I didn't really think about it, but I wasn't scared or nervous,
Mm.
or anything. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
I
no,
never really
that
thought
that
about it.
does. Matter of fact, you actually I don't know if you watch basketball, but you just threw me alley oop right now, and I'm about to dunk it because you actually helped me think of what I want to ask you next, and that was basically, now that you are a father, or been a father, I should say, a father of 4 kids, right? Compared to back then to now, right? What does fatherhood mean to you now compared to, the 20-year-old or 18-year-old you, or even 30-year-old you?
For me, it means not having preparing my kids for life. Um, as I'm sure we all have gotten older and gone through life, and most of us are probably in our late 30s, early 40s right now within our circle. Um, we we've been through so much, and now it's my job as a dad to prepare my kids who are coming into high school, who are coming into junior high, and then adulthood. Hey, life is gonna be hard. I didn't think it was gonna be this way. This is how I handled it. You're gonna be faced with decisions and choices, and there's consequences to those. We're not gonna be there the whole time. We can only prepare you for life. It's up to you. And I think that's what fatherhood has been about. Is just these kids are gonna leave
Mm,
us like we left our parents. How are you gonna do in the world when you're faced with relationship decisions and heartache, or you got to make a decision for a job or college? Like, we'll be there to support you, but what did we prepare you? Did we get you ready for those moments? Because you're either gonna fly or kind of not, and then just be ready for the consequences of it. So yeah, that's what fatherhood taught me.
yeah, no, hey, I agree. We definitely, we have to do our best to give them the tools to be able to handle whatever comes in life, right? To the best ability, of course. So I definitely agree with you on that. So how did you, with your 2 oldest, how did you build that trust and that bond, obviously knowing you're not, and they know that you're not the biological dad and stuff, right? But it can get tricky at times too, depending on the
Yes.
situation. So how did you build that bond with them? Because I know they love you, of course, right now, or well, they'll always love you, but how they,
I
have
hope
a,
so. I hope
a, a
so.
deep connection with you and stuff. But, huh?
I said I hope they still love me. That would suck if they didn't, man. That would suck.
No, no. But yeah, how did you build that bond and that connection?
This is what I learned. This is what I've learned being a stepdad. You got to treat them like they're your own, straight up. Like, um, there's no favoritism. There's no, and it helps to have a supportive spouse that's like, hey, do what you got to do. Like, we always joke. I don't know if we don't joke, but it's kind of known. Like, the girls, out of all the parents, right? Because there's two sets, really. They respect, they fear and respect me the most out of all of us. But that's
Mm,
because, one, I follow through with what I say. If you're in trouble, you're in trouble. Like, I'm not playing games. Two, I'm also present. I'll take you to the things. I'm involved. I love you. I'll provide for you. But at the end of the day, like, I'm still your dad. Like, I'm still a father figure in your life, and I'm not here to their dad is a great dad. He does a good job, and we all kind of make up for each other's kind of areas we lack in, right? So my wife's not so disciplinary, but I may be. But then um, I'm also funnier, or I'm looser in certain things, and she's not. So it just comes down to balance, and being present, and just treating them like they're your own kid. Because I'll be honest, like, you wouldn't know that I have step kids and I have four and two, biological kids, because I treat them all the same love and the same fear and the same discipline, and all that. So I think that's the key, to be honest with you.
no, well, one, I can definitely, testify to that. I've seen you in action. Definitely don't have favoritisms, which is a beautiful thing. Now, you said something too that caught my eye as far as, stepping into the blended family, right? And you're going with no kids to two kids, and the father, which is good. The father's present, of course, right? But a lot of men struggle with that, right? A lot of men either it could be the man with the kids is not with the lady no more. He's like, no, you can't date no one or whatever, right? Giving issues, or the maybe the father coming into that situation don't know, oh, I'm not trying to step on no toes, things like that. Like a lot of men struggle with that, right? So like, what has helped you not be, because I say this, you guys, for those that are listening or watching, is because like it's dope. You can see literally, both parent or all parents, right? So him, his wife, and the two daughters, a dad all together, like hanging out, whatever, right? And that's a very, very unique thing that you don't see, right? So like, how did you guys get to that point?
I mean, again, one, you have to have the right mindset. One, the kids are first. Like, forget all the relationship that issues that happened before between the two parents, right? Like, now, granted, I know everyone's situation's different, and there's different reasons for splitting and all that. So I'm not saying it's not black and white. Like, I get that part, and I'm super thankful for how they separated and cordial they were. So I'm kind of speaking from that. I can only speak from that side. Um, but at the same time, again, we just have our differences in how we parent, what we believe, what we think. So one, just the kids come first, regardless of whatever. Two, be humble. I'm still learning. I'm still that 18-year-old boy inside that wants to go and be a kid and have fun. But also, I'm still learning how to be a dad. Even at 42,
Mm.
I'm still learning, because none of us are given the playbook and all that. You're just taking it a day at a time, and then, I mean, again, communication. Right? Communication's key, and it helps having partners that or a partner that communicates well. I really just I think that's the key and then just respect, right? Like, I respect
Mm.
Brad and the dad he is. May not agree again with everything, but he's the girl's dad, and At the same time, he respects me and what I bring to the girls' life, and so it just makes it super easy on that front. So again, we have a really good dynamic. Um, and I know it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's situation, but I think it really just, man, you got to just stay humble and know your role and step in when you have to, and all that good stuff. But kids first for sure, absolutely.
No, that's dope, man. And well, that's so. It's two thoughts that came to my mind. Is like, like were you guys? Obviously, you guys are there now, but were there any challenges? Um, I guess before you guys got to the place you're at now, and like, was there maybe challenge? Because like you said, you respect him. Like, did he off the bat? Hey, I respect this man coming in. Doing whatever he's doing. Like, did you guys have to set boundaries at first? Like, how was it for you? Because again, you're coming into this new situation, and I know at times it can get tricky. Speaking from a person that my dynamic's different. Like you said, everyone's dynamic's different, but my oldest, right, is through marriage. But even then, like there was times where it was tricky as far as discipline goes, right? So, but I can only imagine, and their dad is present and stuff. So I was just more so curious about that as far as, yeah, was it difficult starting off, or was it literally just, hey, as adults, we just came right away and everything kind of ran smoothly, or not smoothly, but, everyone had an understanding and we was just able to move forward?
No, that's a good question. Give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the girls were 2 and 1, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, I had known them before, before they had kids. But when we got together, they were 2 and 1. I think you're just kind of in the beginning. You're testing the waters, right? Like, if I didn't like the reaction of the kids with their mom, okay, what is my role, right? Like, um, as the disciplinary one, is my wife gonna say something? Because like you start overthinking things, right? And then you got to have those conversations. Man, I'll be
I
honest,
know,
the
my bad,
hardest
bro. I'm,
part.
I'm, I'm hitting you with some haymakers right now. My
Oh,
fault.
no, 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 you're good, because hopefully it helps somebody. But I would say this: the hardest part was introducing. Well, we had his girl, who's still involved in the girl's life, right? They're not married, but they've been together forever. Um, she was the difficult piece in all of it, right? So that created tension between both sets of parents, right? Um, so then you're navigating that realm, which kind of does put a strain. And so we didn't like how she was maybe interacting or would respond to the kids, where we're trying to do something different, right? So,
Mm.
but again, credit to my wife, she communicates well. So she would tell Brad, hey, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm seeing, and they would work on it. um, because again, the mindset is the girls first, like regardless of, and they still had their little battles, but man, there's just it, there's so many variables that could just make it good, make it bad. It just depends on how you respond, um, and who you are, like as a person. So, I don't know. Overall, it was smooth, dude. I'll be honest with you, it was
Yeah.
smooth. Again, I'm not here. I wasn't here to fill in as a dad. They knew their dad, so I wasn't trying to like fill a void or be somebody I wasn't. And then he's obviously again a great dad. So I think it was just relatively smooth transition.
That's dope, man. No, I love the fact that, it wasn't, and I feel like as guys too, we can be more chill. It just depends on, like say what you have to say, and don't kind of be sneaky with it, right? Like just say what your standard is or what you're looking at. So, which I love. But I want to ask you then too, because it's amazing, because at times as men, we do this even if just in general. So just imagine your situation. But I've seen it at times where, it's almost like this dad is competing with that dad, right? There's some type of tension, or I've even seen it where, because again, right, your guys' dynamic is so rare, people aren't used to it. So I've seen people that have tried that, but then they're worried that, she might go back to him, or they have kids together, so they might, you know what I mean? And so how were you, I don't know if you even had those thoughts before, like, I mean, they're a little too friendly at times, or oh man, like he's doing this, he's doing that. Because you seem very confident in yourself, which I love about you. But did you ever have any of those thoughts at times? Yeah, about it might not even be like, hey, she gonna go back to him, or hey, this and that. It could have been anything. Could have been tension, competition, whatever. And if so, how did you make sure to, you know, to not stay in that place? Either talk to your wife or whoever you talk to, or just, I don't know, having a conversation with him, or maybe you never even dealt with anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Because I'll
I
be
think
wait real quick, bro. I'll be honest. Because knowing me, and maybe it's just me, it's a prideful thing, right? I'll probably be like, all right, you like too chummy. Like, what's good? Like, I understand y'all good terms. Like, y'all can't hang out when I'm not here. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like that. So you better than me for sure.
at the end of the day, man, all that matters is you get to lay next to her and do what you got to do with her. So that's how I look at it. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Um, yes. So you have to your point, you got to put your pride down, right? Because for them, they were together for 12, 14 years, right? They were together for so long. There's so much history there. There's so many stories. There's so many inside jokes. Being a man, of course, like I'm insecure. What does that joke mean? What does that mean? Okay, you guys had sex, obviously. How was it? How is he compared to me? Like, I think that's just your internal thoughts that are just naturally going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Um, and the good thing about our relationship with me and Mose, or Mose and I, is like, I can ask her those things, and then she'll just tell me the truth, and whether I want to hear it, she's not going to sugarcoat it, right?
No.
But that's the relationship we have. Like, she's just very direct. She'd be like, okay, well, this is what this means. We were here at this time. This is what we did. I'm like, oh, okay. But what that does is it puts my mind to rest because, all right, now I have the answer I need, and now
Yeah.
we can move on. And again, I mean, you just have to realize, like, bro, they were together for so long, and they got two kids together. It is what it is. Like, just put your pride away and let it be. And you're with her. I got her. So what do I care? Like, laugh all you want, but at the end of the day, I get to see her boobies, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? So yeah, you don't. I do. Let's go.
Sucks for you.
Yeah, go see your other boobies. I don't know, man. Yeah, yeah. So
That's funny, man.
yeah,
But
I think it just yeah.
no, no, that's a great answer. And knowing how your wife is, she's definitely not one to sugarcoat anything. So I think that's all you can ask for, right? You ask her a question and she gives you a direct answer. And knowing how you know your wife, okay, like no, she's not lying. Like she's not gonna spare my feelings. Like she's gonna say whatever it is. So that's dope though that you guys have that type of relationship for sure. Um, I want to ask you then too. So if there, because there's people dealing with similar situations, right? So like, what advice or what could you share to help them if they're like, because right, sometimes it could be something like, man, this lady's good or whatever, but she does have one, two, however many kids, and I don't really know how to navigate through that, right? Like, what can you tell? Because it can be intimidating in the sense too. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh shoot, I'm even if you're not necessarily taking on that role, like, hey, you have to be father because the father's still there, but you're obviously a important father figure that will now be in the household.
So you want to know what advice I have for the dad or for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
for the dad. I'm
dynamic,
sorry, for the dad that like
like the
basically
stepdad?
like what? Yeah, 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 like a stepdad that's gonna take that role basically.
Well, one, I think it starts with the boundaries, the expectations set between you and your other, right? Your whether it's your wife or your girlfriend, whatever, like the baby mama, right? What are those expectations? Does she want you to discipline? If you do discipline,
Yeah,
what does that look like? Um, what else? Like just what are the do's and don'ts, and then go from there, because you're not gonna agree. Well, what do you mean I can't spank the kids? Okay, you don't want me to, or you don't want me to spank the kids, but what if they do that? Like, you got to kind of lay that out there, right? And that just comes with, hey, this is the situation we're in, this is how I feel, this is what I'm seeing, this guy is this way. um and just have those are hard conversations, I think, to have. But the sooner you have it, the easier it is to parent, because you guys can be on the same page. Um, and again, if you don't agree with something, maybe you do have to kind of just take a step back and observe, because again, I don't know everyone's dynamic,
Yeah.
with their spouse or with the other parent, right? So there you got to kind of navigate through that. But one is just communication, set the boundaries. Two, I know there's the whole 50-50 thing. We have our girls probably 65% of the time, and that's not even like, that's another thing too. They didn't get the courts involved with none of that. When they split,
Mm,
they didn't want to do any of that because they didn't want to deal with the money and the visitation. It wasn't even that type of breakup, to be honest with you, either. So
mm,
I think that helps. But
yeah.
the way our lifestyles are right now, with we all work, all that stuff, we got sports kids, we probably have the girls like 65-70% of the time, so they're with me most of the time, right? So am I present? Am I having the hard talks with them? Am I being the
Mm,
parent that I want to be with my kids, that I want them to be when they get older? So just be real with yourself,
mm,
and show them, like, live life, like, go out, take if you got multiple kids, like, have one-on-one time, develop those relationships, because again, when your kids become parents, how are they going to be? You know what I mean? Like, how are they going to be as a parent? It's going to reflect on how we were, just like we're a reflection of how our parents were. So
true.
I mean, there's just so much to that, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, bro, I couldn't imagine. That's what I was gonna ask too, as far as just because I'm talking about someone else maybe having doubt or not sure, like, right, what how they can navigate through this blended family, right? But like you said, as far as expectations, right, have those certain conversations that you need to have, because it gets tricky too, where maybe well, you don't do this, but did you ever catch yourself, or were you mindful of making sure, hey, these are my daughters, and we just had these two, or we had another. Well, you had your third daughter first, and then you had your son last. But was it a conscious effort as well? Like, okay, let me make sure they don't feel left out, right? Because that's something that can be tricky as well, as like making sure they don't feel, oh shoot, like these are, like these are the kids that they had together. You know what I mean? Because I remember just seeing that and experience things like that. So I just always wanted. That's why I'm so mindful to make sure my oldest never feels that way.
Yeah.
And I try to be conscious of making sure she's good. But
Yeah.
yeah, did you ever, I guess, catch yourself, or were you just super mindful of, yeah, I'm gonna make sure, like you said, you do a great job of making sure, hey, you can't tell. But starting off, right? Because obviously they're babies too, right? When they first are born. So your oldest are a little bit older now. And they're like, okay, it's a new addition. Like, this is cool. But what about us, Dad, Mom?
Yeah. I honestly, man, I don't think there's any issue there.
That's dope.
Even in the beginning, it was, I'll use the same word you did, was with it being smooth. I will say the struggle has been on the other side
Mm,
with baby daddy, right? Like,
yeah,
he's not obligated to take our two kids, right? But
yeah,
he'll seclude, and he'll do things with the older kids that we're like, with his girls, we're like, man, like, because we do everything as a family, all six of us. Like, man, it would be
mm,
cool if you invited the two littles, because the realness of it is, that's still their siblings, that's still their sister,
yeah,
their brother, um, and that's what's gonna maintain through the rest of their life. So that's what kind of sucks, right? Just kind of doing the separate things.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but again, he doesn't have to take the two littles.
yeah, yeah,
Now, as they've gotten older, they'll do more things, because he didn't want to change diapers when they were little. I don't blame him, right? He didn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
to. But now that they're older, they do more things. So that probably is the biggest hurdle. Is just making sure, is just, you want them all to do everything together, but that's just not the reality. And
yeah,
so,
yeah, of course.
yeah, but
And,
that's
and
it.
and I can see it from his point of view too, right? It's like, hey, like, you guys are married. You like, this is you agreed to this, right? You agreed to taking on my girls, which is great, right? You agreed to this, and that's your household, but I never agreed to that. And if I want to have, I don't know, a pizza party, right? Like, that's extra mouths to feed, right? Like at the end of the day, like, okay, I understand and like the all of you guys, like him too, right? You guys all have a very mature thinking. But I'm just thinking like the other side as well. Like I can understand where he at times is like, hey, you know what? I just want to hang out with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I can get both sides.
Bro, McDonald's for 6 people is like $80. So if I can cut out 2 kids, I'm saving $20, dude.
Expensive now. It's crazy. It's
I
like
know.
they
It's
like
stupid.
I don't know, $12 for a meal, some crazy. I don't know, something crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I go to In and Out. But that's a whole nother thing. Unless y'all want to
Hey.
sponsor me In and Out, then you know, hit me up.
Yeah,
but
it is.
but no, I just had two more questions for you. So what would you want your or I'm sorry. Did like stepping into the blended family change your perspective of what the man of the house really means?
Well, now you're protector. You kind of get into protector mode a lot quicker, um, because now you're responsible for 2 human beings, right? Um, so there's that, and then what do I want these girls or these kids to see in their dad, in or their stepdad or whatever it is, as the male, right? Like, what am I showing my kids so that because we all know stuff goes on subconsciously as they're developing and they're forming all their ideologies and whatever, right? Like as they're getting older, um, what standards am I setting? What examples am I showing? How am I reacting to things, right? Like, I remember going to therapy, and the therapist said, the man of the house controls the emotions of the family. And so if I
Mm,
come home angry from, whatever, stressed out, whatever, and I'm snapping, my whole dynamic as a family changes in that house, right? The environment. So, okay, how am I going to respond to things? If I'm stressed out, I come home cursing or I come home yelling because things aren't picked up, man, that's what they're seeing, right? So you just kind of got to be more aware of your actions, your words, um, because they're always watching. They're always, they're forming their own stuff. So
yeah,
you definitely got to level up in a lot of ways.
yeah, I like that, man. And I gotta get this joke off, dog. Luckily, you so light skinned because it's dark as heck. Like, luckily, you just.
Oh shoot!
Because if I was recording, you probably wouldn't see me. If I was recording where you're at.
Hey, no hard R's, Sean. You can't call me a ginger, okay? You can't
Okay,
say
you're
hard
right.
R's.
You're
Yeah,
right. You guys are loved too. You guys are special.
yeah. I heard we're getting invited to the barbecues now, so I'll be
Hey, I
bringing.
mean, if you bring something good, you could always come through. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you know what's funny though? I don't have the best lighting in the house, and then with all the kids everywhere, I'm like, I don't even know where the safest place to go do this interview was. So I picked the truck, but it is getting dark, so I apologize for the
no worries,
the
brother.
shadows.
Luckily, you're a ginger, so it's okay.
I said no hard R's,
But
dude. Dang.
my fault, my fault. Um, but my last question for you, and this one's probably gonna be, I think it's gonna be a little tricky for you, or maybe not. So,
Well,
from your 4 kids, right? What has each of them taught you about fatherhood?
I think the main thing is you have to embrace everyone's personality is different, and that's what I love about having kids. And if we could have more, we would have had more because every kid is different. They have their own personalities, they have their own interests. And my second oldest, she loves, she loves like the haunted kind of realm, kind of stuff, right? She's learning about that stuff. And it's like,
Yeah,
I could care less. Like, I don't like that stuff at all, but she's kind of digging it, which we're having a lot of conversations about. But she's so smart too. She's teaching me things, right? So you have to be open because they all bring just different things to you, and they all have different personality and interests. Like I said, where man, you got to be ready for the curveballs, basically, because my 10-year-old, she has like 18 boyfriends, bro, and my 14-year-old hasn't had one boyfriend in life, and so I got that, and then my boy is playing soccer and he likes Roblox. I don't care about Roblox, but I gotta be interested in Roblox because he likes it. My 12-year-old likes the haunted stuff, so I gotta be interested in that. And man, you know what? It's just being present in each of their lives. It's not easy because we have so many distractions, you know, with work, marriage, friends, the kids, whatever else, you know, our own interests as men, like sports or whatever. Like, bro, they just teach you to like. Sometimes you just gotta put the stuff down and just be present, and um, each one just has their own thing, and you're like, okay, cool. That's who you are as a person. And I'm not gonna knock it. I don't know anything about the piano, but if that's what you like, then sweet, dude. Let's go. Let's get you into lessons and all that. So yeah,
That's dope, bro.
yeah. Hope that answers your
I
question.
like it, man. No, no, it does. I mean, cause yeah, I agree. Cause obviously having four as well, they definitely,
Dang.
keep you on your toes. Cause mine goes from 20 and then the youngest 7. So it's
Bro,
it's always something.
well, you got a
The
20-year-old?
20-year-old obviously now, yeah, Camille's 20.
Oh,
She's
dude.
20 now, bro. So that's a whole nother can of worms. But um, so
Damn,
I
yeah.
so yeah,
You
yeah,
about to be a
bro.
granddaddy, Sean.
Yeah. No, let's not let's slow down. I told her wait till she's
Okay.
40, then she can.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I do.
No,
I
but
will. I do tell my kids.
well,
I'll just say this. I do tell my kids, man. Like with everything we've been through as a blended family, whatever. Like you can date and all that, but please don't get married till after you're 30 because you don't even know what you want till after you're 30, and people change and all that stuff. So I will say that is important too about fatherhood is just imparting that wisdom that on your kids. Whether they do it or not, it's up to them. But bro,
no, I agree. I agree. Definitely, encourage our kids to take their time because at the end of the day, like having a family, right? With anything, just like a job, like right, like you gotta make sure you're picking the right one. You know what I mean? That
yeah,
makes sense for
yeah.
you. So, no, I definitely agree with that, man. And yeah, bro, I appreciate your time. And of course, I always like to give the guests their flowers, man. So one, I appreciate taking the time out in the dark alley. No, I'm just playing. He's not in the dark alley, y'all. He's 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 just it's just a little dark. But
Hey,
no, I appreciate you just taking the time for that, bro. And honestly, just sharing your story and leading by example. You and your wife and their dad as well as all y'all all coming together. But I salute you just because you came into this and was open minded, and what I mean, when you didn't have to, you could be like, nah, like you're amazing, but I'm gonna check out, and shout out to your wife as well for giving you that space of, hey, no, you know what, if you need a discipline or if you need to do this, yeah, do that, like I support you in that, right? So like you said, it takes a team effort, but I just wanted to salute you, man, because it's not easy what you're doing, right? And I'm sure you hear a lot of times from other people, like, just the relationship that you guys all have is amazing. And so, and you are the founder of, or not founder, I'm sorry, you are the standard for your household. And so when you coming home and you're, cracking jokes or making them laugh, whatever, I'm sure that makes them happy. And then they're like, okay, yeah, dad is rocking right now, right? Where it's like, wait, hold on, dad didn't talk about me and this hat's messed up. Like normally he would have cracked a joke or something, right? So, um, so yeah, man. So I appreciate you, bro, for real, and just keep doing what you're doing, bro, for real.
yeah, no, I appreciate you creating this platform for us dads. I'm gonna go back and watch all the videos because there's actually a lot of wisdom, in the ones I did watch, and I think more guys do need to hear it. Um, and so I do appreciate you creating this space for us, and I wish you the best. And honestly, bro, if you need to redo this video for the lighting, because I'm whatever, like I'll do it for you. So just anytime you need
No,
something, just holler.
bro, bro. How about this? We can always do another episode, dog. I'm not tripping
There you
on
go.
it. I'd love to have
Yeah.
you again, man, because you're obviously, yes, you have a unique situation with having a blended family, but there's so much more layers to you than just that. You know what I mean? So we can always do another episode, bro. I'm not tripping on it. You know what I mean?
Check on me. Check on me in a couple years when all three of the other kids are in high school together. Then I'll let you know how I'm doing for sure. I might be moving in with
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Sean.
Then I'm gonna need you on then, because then you're gonna be in tears. Like, I can't take it.
Yeah, yeah. Fly me out, and then I can have a vacation while we record. So, nah, man, I
Vacation for
appreciate
real.
you doing this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. No, I appreciate you, man. And like always, y'all, like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.